Erev Shabbat Shalom and Chag Kasher V'Sameach. As we're preparing for Shabbat and for Yom Tov, let's pause for a minute just to recognize a major milestone today. Today, the 13th of Nisan, marks the 450th yurtzeit of Harav Yosef Karo. Rav Yosef Karo is arguably one of the most important poskim in all of Jewish history. In all of Jewish history. He was born in Spain in 1488. At 4 years of age, he and his family were exiled in the Gerush Sfarad. They ran away to Portugal. They soon had to leave Portugal and move to Egypt. From there to the Ottoman Empire, from where he made Aliyah in 1535 to Tzfat. And he then spent 40 years in Tzfat. He was the Av Beit Din as of 1546. And at that time, he also, in the 1540s, published an exhaustive commentary on the Tur, then the Code of Jewish Law, most well-regarded Code of Jewish Law. It was called the Beit Yosef. That was his commentary. And he then condensed it into the Shulchan Aruch, in English, the set table. Shulchan Aruch, set table. It was in 1565 in Tzfat. This work, the Shulchan Aruch, provided Jews around the world with a clear and accessible guide for living a life of Torah and mitzvot. Now, the name Shulchan Aruch was inspired by the words of Rashi taken from the Medrash at the beginning of Parshat Mishpatim. Ve'ela mishpatim asher tasim lifnehem. These are the statutes you shall place before them. So Rashi writes, Sheyus durin befihem keshulchan ha'aruch umuchan le'echol mipiv. The halacha has to be as organized and accessible as a set table, ready for all to eat from it. So as we're approaching Pesach, I open my Shulchan Aruch, and indeed, he writes in Siman Taf Ayin Bet Yehi Shulchano Aruch Mi Ba'od Yom. A person should set the table for the Seder while it's still daylight, so that when it's dark, they can go right into the Seder. This year we can't do that because on Shabbat you can't prepare for Yom Tov. But on Friday, now Erev Shabbat, we can prepare the Seder table if we can, and then we'll have it for Motzei Shabbat. Let's think a little bit about the Seder table and about the way in which we set the table, how we set the table, the Shulchan Aruch that we make for the people who are coming to the Seder, God willing, to be with us. We're going to all tell the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim to express our gratitude to Hashem for our redemption from Mitzrayim. But everybody has to be able to access it on their own level, right? So we're hoping for an ultimate geula. We need to reach the people who are with us at the table. Let's ensure that our tables are meaningful for the people who are present, be they young, be they old, be they sophisticated or not yet sophisticated and learned, to strengthen each person's emunah, the connection to Torah mitzvot. Of course, we're thinking about the chatufim and the chayalim and bereaved families, and we've spoken a lot about that in the shul. But when you come to the Seder table also, don't forget to make it accessible for the people who are there. And I wish everyone an Erev Shabbat Shalom, Chag Kasher V'Sameach.